Last week, we have discussed a two-dimensional diagram indicating it's not the Bible kind of thing or Bhagavad Gita kind of thing, full, not the Bible, it's a Bhagavad Gita kind of thing, but it gives idea for us to understand. And because it's just two-dimensional, and what we are talking is multi-dimensional, and this does not give a full reflection of the picture, but it forms the basis for our understanding. And we see that there are three liberated states. One is called the Brahman liberated state, where you see that everything is light kind of thing. And second kind of liberated state is the Paramatma liberated state, where you see the Lord everywhere. And then you see the Lord in the Bhagavan realization stage, where the Lord, same Lord, who is Brahman, who is Paramatma, also becomes a form. And he reciprocates. You can exchange mellows. If I want a relationship, then two people are required. So, Lord,
just want to quickly recap. Does anyone remember what we talked about in the last session?
yeah, you want a recap? Hello, Narsingh Saurabh, is there a question?
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhu. Is there any question?
No problem.
Okay. So I was just trying to give I'm not doing much recap this session because I have a lot to cover, but I'll give a very brief recap myself so that we understand what we are talking about. And there are different processes Lord has given. One is called karma path, one is the gnana path, one is dhyana path, second is bhakti path. And each of the path have different levels of realizations they can reach up to. And what are the things that there's a baseline, I've put it here to tell that anything below that is sin, anything above that is positive side, there's no sin. But the pass mark is this. This is a basic pass mark. If you want to do a pass mark, if you cross this, you don't have to take birth. Anything below that you may enjoy, but you have to take birth again and again. There's no sin. But if you do anything below that, you have to suffer for that. And you take birth again, that's a different issue. Birth is there for both cycles until you get to this cycle. And you get, this is better state, this is highest state. We will discuss all these things. With respect to this, we have this in mind. Our chapters, when we read now, I'm going to cover karma, gnana, dhyana parts. It'll go very fast. It makes our understanding easy. Okay. So what we have seen is, in the last class, Krishna is saying that everyone is forced to work. It's not that we have a choice. Why are we forced to work? Krishna is saying you are born in the three modes of material nature and they control you forcibly. And without work, you can't even maintain your body also. Krishna is saying. So everybody is doing some work or other. Nobody is idle for a second. And Krishna is saying that. And if you have to work anyway, and work has reactions. Can Das Prabhuji, can you go on mute? So we have to work anyway. Work in a way as your prescribed duty is given, and work for the satisfaction of the Lord. Lord is mentioning that. Otherwise, you are anyway getting sin. If you don't work, you get sin. We have seen in the earlier verse. If you do not work, you get sin. If you work wrong way or not prescribed way, you get sin. In both cases, you are getting sin. So you have to work. It's not a choice. And then if you have to work, at least work in any of these situations. That's still better. Even if you have desires, work in this platform. If you have no desires, get into this platform. And then finally, for liberation, you work in this kind of mentality. Lord is mentioning here. So that's why Lord is slowly taking step by step and moving to that. So he is saying you have to work. Yajnartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Work like a sacrifice yajna. Otherwise, it will bind you. Lord is telling, if you don't work as yajna, it means that it is likely to bind you. Or this way. Either way you're born. Now, what is this is some recap I'm doing here. He is saying that the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sin because they eat the food which is first offered as sacrifice to Lord. Otherwise, one who makes food for personal enjoyment is verily eating sin. Why? Because we see that I gave an example of tax system. I am working, I am getting the benefit. Why should I pay tax? If you say that, you will be punished. Because without the support of so many other things, supposing I'm going to work and they're paying me, I'm enjoying it. Why should I pay to government? To say that statement, if they don't provide you roads, they don't provide you electricity, how can you work? So similarly, there is so much ecosystem Lord has built, and you have to give something back to the ecosystem. Otherwise, you are really eating sin. Like that, Lord has made a very nice framework, and which even demigods, what we are talking, different kinds of gods, Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Varuna, all of these people, they are giving rains, they are giving sunlight. Without this, we can't get food, we can't even eat. So we have to give something back to them. Like now, what we can do is just show it to them and say gratitude. Hey, because of you, I got it. That simple thing is a gratitude. And when you do that, you will not get sin. Otherwise, you are eating sin. That is why we always say that when we cook, we offer it to God and then eat it. When you cook the food for enjoyment, that is called bhoga. When you give it to the Lord for enjoyment, it becomes prasada. Prasada means the mercy of the Lord. And we have seen the benefit of it in the last chapter, how it establishes your intelligence by eating prasada, and you will not get sin. And why the Lord is saying here, this chart, if you look at this chart, he's saying that the Lord is the Supreme Lord. From him came the Vedas. From him came the Vedas or Brahma. Everybody came from him. And that gives the instructions. What are the kind of prescribed actions? When you do the prescribed actions, the way you're supposed to do that become yajna. Because of yajna, you get raining clouds, and then you get food grains, and then living subsist on these grains, and then they offer it to Lord, and the cycle continues. Lord is saying, if you don't follow this cycle, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of senses, such a person lives in vain. He's saying your life is going in vain because we have seen in this particular text, if you are just enjoying benefit here, good. But the benefit gets over. You have to take birth again, start from zero again. You do wrong, you go negative side. You can take hellish planet, you go different animal planets, all kinds of things. You'll have to suffer and then come back and then start again. So this cycle is continuing. Life chance is given that you can elevate yourself to get away from the miseries of life. And that opportunity is lost. Life is set in vain. But Lord is not making it hard and fast rule. At least He's making sure if you want to do something enjoyment, do it the right way. At least you get higher planetary system, but that's not permanent. We will see in 7th chapter and 9th chapter, Krishna explains. Even if you go to higher planetary system, heaven, that is not permanent. It is like consuming your money. You finish your money, you come back. Like Lord is mentioning. So Lord is mentioning for us to get out of this cycle. For that reason, he is saying in this particular statement. So follow the cycle. At least you are better off. If you don't follow the cycle, your suffering is guaranteed. Lord is mentioning. And let's go to the next one. Now the question is, prescribed duties. Is there anyone for whom there are no prescribed duties? Yes. Prescribed duties are primarily what are we doing? We are working in the platform thinking that I am the body. As long as you think you are the body, you have duties to do because you have to maintain your body. For that, because you have a body, you can't just leave it. So you have to maintain it. And that is why he's saying, but Krishna is putting this clause. For one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in self only, fully satisfied, for him there is no duty. This means one is not acting at bodily platform alone. We have seen in the second chapter how we are not the body, we are the soul. If a person is constantly in that mood, what physical activity, what activity does he potentially have for working? Technically, no. That is saying a self-realized person has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor he has any reason not to perform such work, nor he has any need to depend on any other living being. This is the key. You don't have a need, means that you don't have a desire. When you are working at the platform where you think you're not the body, there is no bodily action you have to do, nor there is no action that you are doing which has any desire, because you don't have anything to get from it. Either you can do it or you don't do it. In either case, you have nothing to lose, or if you work also, you don't have anything to gain because you are doing as a matter of duty to please the Supreme Lord. There is nothing in it for you. In both the cases, you don't have to work, or even if you work also, you don't have anything. Lord is coming to the platform. Lord is trying to get Arjuna. Remember that Arjuna does not want to fight. He wants to put a philosophy that I am going to beg. Begging is a profession of Brahmanas, because they are supposed to focus on the soul part. They don't want to focus on this. Whatever little I get to maintain the body, minimum required. Otherwise, I have to focus on spirituality. But Arjun Krishna is saying that, how does it matter? If somebody, you're getting some work, if you're not interested in the work, but still working as a matter of duty, focusing on the Lord, both are case. Lord is saying that. So in both cases, whether you work in the bodily platform, even if you think you're not the body, if you work, it does not impact you. Lord is trying to get to that point. Lord is saying you fight if you're not the bodily platform also. Arjuna is saying, because I'm in the bodily platform, if I'm not in the bodily platform, I'll be happily doing penance because I have an ulterior motive. I don't want to fight. Because if I fight, my family will die and I'll be unhappy. Arjuna is trying to put that clause. But Lord is trying to say differently. He's saying, because even if you have no reason not to perform such work, or if you work also, it does not impact you, then you should. Lord is, this is given Lord. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of the activities, one should act as a matter of duty, or by working without attachment, one attains the Supreme. This is the example. Lord is saying this. If you are working for attachment, you are called sakama or karmakanda. Means that you want something to enjoy. So you will be here. So you will get the benefit, you will finish off, you will come back. But you have to advance, you have to go to the path where you work without an attachment for the pleasure of the Lord. That will take you towards Supreme. This is what the Lord is mentioning. And is giving the examples. Are there people who have done this? Yes, Janaka Maharaj. They are called Videha Maharaj. He is also called as Videharaj, Janak. The entire line of King Janaks are called Videharaj because Deha means you are the body. Videha means I am not the body. They are in the platform that they are not the body, but still they are working. But still they are working. It doesn't matter whether you work or not. Even then, they are working. That's what Lord is mentioning. And the Lord is saying that I myself am working, though my body is not material at all. I'm not in the material platform. I'm always thinking I am not the body. Even then I am working, Lord Krishna is saying. Janaka has done. He's giving examples. Then why should Lord work? Why should one work? Natural question, right? You don't have reason to work. Then why are you working? Lord is saying that whatever great action, whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. Whatever standards he set by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. To set a right example or right tradition, Arjuna should also work. Otherwise, people who follow wrong are the real unwanted population. Remember the question Arjuna asked, because if there's nobody to guide and people will have, nobody is guiding, so women get corrupt, and because of which you get unwanted population. What Lord is saying is, it is the purpose of population is not just to follow some rituals or to set a wrong tradition, because you need to fight, because if you don't fight, you are telling it is okay for the future generations that it is okay to disrobe a woman in public and it is okay to loot others' property. Because these people who are miscreants, they are acting as the leaders. They are acting as the great people. Don't want to set that right example. So, to set them in the right path, even if you do not have a reason to work, still work for the benefit of others. There is nothing personal in you. There is nothing in it for you. You are acting for the benefit of society. And Lord is saying that the problem is when you work like that, also you may think maybe I am working for the benefit of society. I am the one who is doing that. As long as you have that attachment, you may be working without attachment, but that ego, that I am the doer, as long as that is there, you will not be eligible for liberation. Because that is incomplete knowledge that you are the doer. Lord is saying, no, you are not the doer. He is saying that the spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of the activities that are actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. Krishna is saying, Prakrite kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. He is saying that because of the false ego, you are thinking you are the only doer. No. There is a material nature that is inducing. The material nature is of three modes: a mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. This material nature is driving you towards that. Forcibly, you are driving towards that. And there is a law which is sanctioning it. Material nature by itself cannot work. There is a supreme Lord. Supposing I wanted to say that I want to become a millionaire overnight. Can I become a millionaire just because I have a desire? I cannot. Lord has to enable. Material nature has to provide me that lucky opportunity, and I should act, then only I can become. Otherwise, no. So don't think you are the only doer. That mentality, when you cultivate, and then if you work in that mode, you will be eligible for liberation. Lord is saying, in that mode, in the karma path, first what are you doing? If you don't act as Lord has prescribed, you are doing sin. You'll go to lower planetary systems or suffer. If you are doing good karma, maybe you enjoy in this life or go to higher planetary systems because you have a desire, you enjoy, and then you come back again, start the process, go in cycles. But if you want to elevate, work in such a way that not for your benefit, but work as a matter of duty, because this duty is given by the Lord. So, whether knowingly or unknowingly, you are working for the Lord because of following the Lord's instructions. And the moment you say that I am not the only doer, that knowledge comes into picture, then you are eligible for this kind of liberation. The Lord is mentioning. Okay. So, what is the conclusion? Lord is saying, therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. We've just seen that. And Lord is saying that even a man of knowledge, you think you're knowledgeable? Even then, he's saying that. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, according by three modes of material nature. So what you should do is regulate the attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects by following the regulative principles of freedom. Because your nature is forcing you to do that. A drunkard will drink no matter what. If you give him some things, because he's nice, he's conditioned for that. So what Lord is saying, regulate. How to control that? Regulate them. By regulating, you are controlling them. You cannot stop completely. By regulating or diverting their attention to something else, you can do that. And those are called regulative principles of freedom. We discussed last time. There are 4 regulative principles that we do. What are they? No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. And then the problem comes, okay, I will do my duty. But I like somebody else's duty, I will do that. If you say that, Lord is answering the question. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharma swanushtita swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Lord is saying, it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duty, even though faultily, than other duties perfectly. Distraction in the course of performing one's duty is better than engaging in others' duty. Or to follow another's path is dangerous. This verse is a very important verse. This is repeated twice in Bhagavad Gita. There are 2 verses which are repeated twice to emphasize the importance of it. This is emphasizing on your swadharma, means your duty. Lord is saying, do your duty, not somebody else's duty. Because we have a tendency to say that you work, I'll work, but I'll work what I like. No. Lord is saying, work that is given to you. Because when you are doing for the satisfaction of the Lord, you do what He tells you to, not what you want to do. You go to office, your boss is paying you, he wants you to do some work. If you say, I will not do this, I will do somebody else's work, he will not be happy. Similarly, and Lord has decided why you are good for it. You may think I may do that work better, but Lord is saying this is better for you because this work is going to purify you. That's the reason Lord is saying this. So Arjuna is asking, yes, thank you for all the information, but whatever you say is right, Krishna, but why are we being forced to do sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by some force? We see in our lives so many times where we see that we don't want to do some work, but we invariably do it. Krishna is replying for that, it is lust only. Arjuna, which is born of contact with material mode of passion, and later transformed to wrath, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world. The biggest enemy, your enemy is your lust. And this lust is covering your knowledge. And it is something which will not be satisfied. Think like a fire. You pour ghee into the fire, it appears like fire is coming down. But it only burns. The more you supply, the more it burns. So lust is something like that, never satisfied. It wants more and more. And where does this enemy sit? He's saying enemy is sitting in your mind, intelligence, and your senses. And through that, it is covering your knowledge. Lord is saying that. It is covering your knowledge. And because of which you get illusion and you are bewildered. So Lord is saying, very first thing you should do is to curb the symbol of sin called lust. How do you do that? By regulating the senses. That is the reason why we are saying the regulative principles are very important. That is why Lord is concluding here saying that, thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Our enemy is lust, and it is attacking us. It is in us. It is attacking us. It is bewildering us. So Lord is saying you need to attack that first, and you do that by regulating and focusing on Krishna. For Krishna. That is the essence of first chapter, third chapter. It is called Karma Yoga. Now we'll go to the Gnana Yoga part. Now Krishna is further explained, Krishna so far explained, he's saying that whatever I am telling you this knowledge, I have given this knowledge earlier to Sun God. Sun God gave it to his son, Vaivasvata Manu, and Manu gave it to his son called Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku, and then coming in this reciprocal succession. We see Lord Rama came in the succession, right? All these kings in the king of his dynasty. Sun God gave it to even Hanuman. So like this parampara has been coming, but over the course of time, it got lost. What I am telling you is that very old science. I am telling you this, Arjuna, because you are my friend. There is a relationship between Lord and you are a devotee. Lord is mentioning the qualifications to receive this knowledge. First, you have to be a devotee, and then you need to have a relationship. When you do, you don't know your relationship with God. People have 5 primary relationships. One, in the mood of a servant, called Dasya Rasa. Second, in the mood of one is the Shanta Rasa. You just worship him like a supreme. Second is, you try to serve them as a Dasya, means that you work like he's a master, you are a servant, like that. Third is in the relationship of friendship, Sakhya Rasa. Arjuna is in the mode of friendship. Fourth is in the mode of Vatsalya rasa. You think either Krishna is your son or you think Krishna is your dad, something like that. And fifth is Madhurya rasa. You think he's your conjugal lover. A different race, you need to have some relationship with the Lord. And that relationship will be established to you as you progress in your devotion. There are 9 stages of devotion. As you progress in the stages of devotion, in the 7th or 8th stage, you will know your relationship with the God. At that time, you will fully understand Krishna. Lord is saying that. So Arjuna is asking a question. You are born as my contemporary, and you are telling that you gave it to Sun God who is born many, many, many millions of years ago. How am I supposed to understand this? So Krishna is telling his divinity now about himself. We talked about we so far talked about what is individual. We talked about some karma activities. We talked about Prakriti, how material nature is, and 3 modes is influencing us. Now Lord is introducing the concept of Ishvara. Lord is saying that because you are also eternal, I am also eternal, we are all eternal souls. We had many births. I can remember all, but you cannot remember. Lord is saying that. That is why he's trying to bring out the difference between living entity and Ishvara. They are similar, but they are not same. And he's saying, why I am different? He's saying, Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. He's saying that I am unborn. My body never deteriorates like your body. Your body is going through birth, day, you become a boy, childhood, old like this, it deteriorates. Krishna's body never deteriorates. He is 15 years, 9 months, 3 days old body, always Krishna. You will not find Krishna like an old man. And his body is not material like us. Though he appears like us, his body is completely spiritual. And next, he is the Lord of all the entities. Lord is saying, I am the Lord of all the living entities. He is Ishvara. And he is bringing a difference that when we are born by under the influence of material nature, we were being controlled by the material nature. Prakritim Swama. Where Lord is saying, I am appearing by controlling the material nature. We are appearing being controlled by material nature. Lord is appearing controlling the material nature because he is Supreme Lord. And he is appearing out of his own sweet will, not like us. Atma Sambhavami, Atma Maya, out of his own sweet will. That is what Lord is trying to bring a difference here. And then when you are appearing because you don't have choice. You have to suffer or enjoy. But when Lord is appearing, he has a purpose. He says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata apyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijami aham. He is saying that I appear for a purpose to establish what is right principle. Whenever the right religion is being destroyed, I come to establish the right religion. And he's saying, what is my purpose? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I come again and again, not once. Unlike other religions, where they say Lord comes only once. No, Lord is saying that I come again and again, multiple times. Why? To deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, to establish the principles of religion. Lord is appearing. So we may say, okay, you want to establish religion, well and good. You want to help the pious and miscreants, all good. So why should I care? I'm doing my duty. Why should I care to know you? You may have a question. So for that, Lord is answering, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Says that you need to know my this thing, because when you know about my transcendental appearance and the activity that I do, when you learn about that, when you leave the body, you will not have to take birth again, but attain to my eternal abode. This is what the Lord is mentioning. When you get to the point to understand Supreme Lord, this is part of knowledge. When you come to understand Supreme path of the knowledge, then you don't have to come back and suffer. You will go back. Lord is mentioning that. By knowing about the Lord, that means they are so potent. Lord's information is so potent that when you know about his pastimes, his activities, then we don't have to take birth again. And it's not that it just Lord is telling, there are so many people in the past have done this. Many sages have done this path. By knowing the Lord, they got purified. And that is the reason why we celebrate festivals, Janmashtami, Ramanavami, all these festivals we celebrate for this reason, because on that day we remember the Lord, what He has done, and by knowing that we will transcend this material world. And for that reason, Lord is mentioning. And He gave so many people, not one, so many people got purified by this process. And then Krishna is saying, okay, but there is a, I do some part, somebody does more. So can we both be equal? Lord is saying yes. But to the degree one surrenders, to that degree I reciprocate. Lord is clear saying, to the degree you surrender, to that degree he reciprocates. And everyone follows Krishna's path in all respects, either directly or indirectly. In the path of Karma Yoga, one is following Lord, Vedas. Even if they don't know Lord, they are still following the Lord indirectly. Whereas here, you are trying to understand the Lord. If you understand Lord and follow directly, it's very good. But everybody is following the path of the Lord. But to the degree you follow, to that degree you get Lord's mercy. Lord is saying. And Lord is saying again, He is introducing new concept, that how He Himself is the doer, but He is not the doer. It is called, in the sense, I am the cause of things, that I am not the cause. He is trying to give example. To tell that example, He is telling that He has established this Varna Ashrama system. He is saying that Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagashaha Tasya Kartaram Apimam Vidhi Kartara Akartaram Avyam. Is that there are 4 kinds of Chaturvarna. Chaturvarna Ashrama. It says 4 Varnas are Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. Who created? Lord created. Did He create on the birth? No. He said, O Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. He never said Janma. Understand this statement very clearly. People always mistake things. Krishna said, by your qualities and actions, you are being classified, whether you are a Brahmana or a Vaishya or a Sudra or Kshatriya. Because some people have natural tendency for ruling. Some people have natural tendency for something, and depending on their tendency, they are doing that. Nobody is saying that. Imagine if today's world, everybody says that whoever come, why should I give an entrance exam for a medical seat? First come, first served, if I give that seat. And will you go to the doctor today? No. You will go to the doctor who has studied hard, who has that interest, who knows the subject. You will go to that person. Similarly, Krishna classified 4 different kinds of varnas. One is called a preaching class, where they are supposed to educate knowledge. Second is the administrative class. Third is a business class. Fourth is a service class. No, nothing is wrong. Everybody has their own duty. They do it according to that duty. Suppose I am a Brahmana, I can't be administrator. My qualities of administration is not there. I'm good at teaching. So if I go and try to play the role of administrator, I will fail miserably. So Lord is saying, I created all these four for that, according to their qualities. And then, though I created this, I am not the doer, because I am doing according to the people's interest. I put a formula, I'm making it happen. Lord is saying that according to three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am at the non-doer being unchangeable. And Lord is saying, according to the Varna means four. Ashrama means there are four ashramas. One is Brahmacharya. It means before you marriage, it's called Brahmacharya, where you're supposed to know knowledge. Second is Grihastha Ashrama. When you get married, you have to follow the principles of Grihastha Ashrama. Then in the retirement age, it's called Vanaprastha Ashrama. And finally, when you give up everything, it's called Sannyasa Ashrama. There are different duties for different ashramas. And he's saying that what kind of duties are there. He mentioned initially, right? What kind of duties are there for different people. He gave a small subset here. If you want to karma yogis, you want to enjoy some benefits, you do demigod worship. You want to gnana yogis, you do Brahman worship. You're a brahmachari, that means before marriage, you want to mind control by hearing. Your main process is hearing. You're a grahastha, sense control, regulation is very important. You're Ashtanga yogi, you follow the path of mysticism. Some people who want to do charity, they give up their possessions. That's also a kind of yajna. Some people who are austere, they do tapasya. That's also a yajna. Different kinds of yajnas, as the Lord is saying. I give some examples here. And Lord says that there are many, many different yajnas according to their needs. So what should you do? Why are the yajnas given? The purpose of all the sacrifices is that by doing these kind of yajnas, all sinful reactions are destroyed and they end up in culminating in knowledge. When you do this sacrifices like this, you come to knowledge path. You can take elevator. You can go this path, or you can take a step here and come here. Knowledge path. Knowledge will come to you. It's a ladder path also. Like this, you can go ladder path. It becomes a ladder path also. You get knowledge. You get purified by the sins. Lord is saying. But how do you know what kind of sacrifice I should perform? He says, go and approach Brahmanas who know these Vedas. That means approach somebody who know it. Lord is saying, go learn from people who know this subject. And how one should learn? He is giving this. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattva darshanaha. He's saying, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. The mood should be submissive. Because the mood should not be to question him or to show your arrogance. The mood should be to learn. With that mood, inquire and to service unto him. These souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. And he has given the parampara system, right? You have to approach a spiritual master in the parampara, inquire from him, and because they got the information right source, and they can impart that real truth to you. This is what Lord is saying. And is concluding, saying that Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam Gnana Sanchina Samsayam Atmavantam na Karmani Nibadhanti Dhananjaya. He is the one who acts in devotional service, announcing the fruits of action, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually knowledge. Thus, he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. In general, what happens is, the path of knowledge you directly take without coming through this path. You directly take to this path. This is definitely a higher path because your starting baseline is here. Your baseline is here. So it's definitely much higher than this path. You can take a step-by-step process, directly come here or go this path. Lord is mentioning. So if you take to this path, people who directly take to this path are sannyasis. A karmis or a grihasthas, a slower period of time you come like this. But those people who take sannyas at a early age to perform this, they are starting at this level. Their baseline is much high. It's high, definitely higher. Any day it's higher because they are elevated people to be at this platform, to already be at this level. That is what Lord is saying. These people who do this path is generally sannyasis. So, next chapter forms the basis for this discussion. What happens for sannyasis? It's called Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Now, Krishna is saying the path of renunciation, in the sense that the path of knowledge is good, but then said that you have, if you are realized, self-realized, you don't have to work, or you can work. Both doesn't matter. But he has told you work. Lord Krishna has told you to get up and fight. Arjuna is perplexed. He says, first of all, you ask me to renounce work, and then you again recommend to work with devotion. Tell me definitely one which is more beneficial. So Krishna is replying to him saying that both renunciation of work and work in devotion both are good for liberation. Of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. Lord is saying, you go, these two are definitely, you go this path or this path. Both are good, but Lord is preferring this path. Lord said, both are good for liberation, but this is better. Why? Let us see this. Sannyasasthu mahabahum dukkhamaptum ayogataha yogayukto munirbrahman achirenadi gacchati. Dukkhamaptum ayogataha. If you are not qualified, yogyata means the qualification. Ayogyata means you don't have the qualification. It's definitely great. But if you're not qualified and then premature renunciation, if you take it, it is going to end up in misery. Let me read this and then go and explain that. One who works in devotion is pure soul and works controlling his mind and senses. He is dear to everyone and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. Whereas merely renouncing all activities yet not engaging in devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. That is why yogis abandoning attachment act with the body, mind and intelligence, even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. Let me explain what Lord is saying here. We already understood, I know that. When you are in this path directly, by any chance if you have any small desire, you are making sin. You are making sin. That means you have to suffer. Whereas in this path, while you are making progress, say you had some desire and you fulfilled desire, you came here. You are never in the negative territory. You are still in the positive territory. It's permissible. You can still reform and go. But once you fall here, you are in negative territory. That is why Lord is saying, unless you are qualified, don't take this path. This is the most preferable. This is a good path, but this is the preferable path. That is what Lord is mentioning. And then Lord is further defining how a person with intelligence, how does he act? He is saying that Ehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. Saying that an intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, so the wise man do not delight in them. Because the moment samsparshaja bhoga, sparsha means that once the senses want to see sense objects, they get some pleasure. That pleasure is coming from the yoni, means in the womb of dukkha, misery. Whatever happiness you are trying to get is coming from the womb of misery only. Because we are living in, we see in the 8th chapter, Krishna says, we are living in dukkhalayam ashashvatam. We are trying to extract something pleasure from a misery thing. We always say, right? I am working hard and hard to make life easier and easier. You're only working hard. All the pleasure that you are thinking so far, pleasure you are trying to think, they have a beginning and an end. They are not permanent. So intelligent people will not focus on such small temporary pleasures. That is why Lord is saying that you have to Shaknoti haiva yasodum praksharira vimokshanat krama krododbhavam vegam sayukta sukhi naraha. Therefore, before you give up this body, in the human body, while you have a chance, try to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger. Then he will be situated happy even in this world and next world also. And he's saying, Bhoktaram yagnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surdam sarvabhutanam gnatva mam shantiricchati. Who will get peace? He's saying that if you understand that Krishna is a Bhoktaram yagnatapasam for all the sacrifices and your austerities, the ultimate enjoyer is Krishna. And Krishna is the Sarvaloka Maheshwar, meaning he is the supreme Lord of all worlds. And if you understand Krishna, he is a well-wisher of every living entity, Surdam Sarva Bhutanam. Knowing that you will get peace, Krishna is saying. When you are offering to Krishna, see the quality. Krishna is Surudam. He is not a selfish person. He is your well-wisher. There is no well-wisher for you better than Krishna. When you give prasadam to Krishna, will you take it, or will you, when you give some food to Krishna, is he taking your food? Are they depriving you of anything? No. He is glancing, adding his mercy, and you are the one who are eating it. But you're not cooking for, you are cooking for his pleasure. That's what Lord is saying. So what you should do is, in this diagram, cultivate the habit of working for his pleasure. Don't do the heck of it, do for his pleasure. That will elevate you. Krishna is saying this is there, this is there, this is better. Why this is better? In this you have insurance policy. If you fall down, you are covered. Plus, you need a motivation. That motivation is keep it as Krishna, do for his pleasure instead of your sense pleasure. Then you can make progress faster. This is what Lord is addressing in the 5th chapter of Gita. And we are quickly covering to the 6th chapter. I may take 10-15 minutes extra. I want to cover this part too. And then it's coming to the Dhyana Yoga path. In the Dhyana Yoga path, let me go here quickly. Dhyana Yoga path, Krishna is reconciling these two. The Dhyana Yoga path is taking you to higher stage. There is putting 2 states. It's called Ashtanga Yoga, the 2 states. In the beginning stage, work. In the advanced stage, you can give up work. Lord is saying. He's saying there's one more path. This is karma path. This is jnana path. In the dhyana path, initial stages work. When you come to the point of advanced stage, then you can give up work if you want. Lord is mentioning that. And this one will take you further higher to a Paramatma stage. You have Brahman, you have Paramatma. Both are possible. Lord is saying that. Let us see how he is saying that. So he is saying, Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanamuchyate yogarudasya tasyeva shamah karanamuchyate. For one who is a neophyte in the Eightfold System, work is said to be the means. And for one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. So, in the Eightfold System of yoga, first is called yama. Lord is describing in detail, but I am trying to cover in this diagram. I cover most of the part here. So, Lord is saying the first fundamental thing is yama. Yama means regulations. What did we talk about regulations? Don'ts. Can anybody tell me what are the don'ts we are talking here? We discussed in the first class or second class.
Not eating meat.
Yes.
No alcohol.
No intoxication.
No alcohol.
Yeah, intoxication. And then no illicit sex. And there's
No
one more.
gambling.
No
No
gambling.
No gambling. When you say no meat eating, anything, we will say that anything which is not offered to Krishna, we will not eat. That is, okay, but niyama means don't eat meat. Next is niyama, do's. What are the do's? Eat only prasadam. That means you have to cook. When you cook for the Lord, you cook very neatly. You don't cook like us. You have to take bath, you have to cook very neatly because you're cooking for Supreme Lord. You make what he likes, not what you like. So, associate with devotees, read spiritual books, and chant the holy name of the Lord. These are do's. Asana. Lord is not mentioning here different types of postures here. If you read Bhagavad Gita, Lord is saying asana is very important. Asana is for a balance, to focus. The goal is not to build my body muscle. That is not the goal. Goal is higher purpose. So Lord is saying, if you read, yes, sit in a clean, neat place. Not too high, not too low. Sit in a place which focuses. Sit in a comfortable posture where you can focus. The goal is to be comfortable so that any posture which is more comfortable for you to focus on the Supreme Lord. That's the focus. And then he's saying the pranayama part. Try to control the breath because our mind goes in various directions. To start building the controlling exercise, Lord is saying, do pranayama. Focus on breathing. Prana, apana, taking is prana, leaving is apana. Like this. You do like this. And then samana means balancing out. Prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana. Udana means leaving up the body. When you leave the body, giving up. Like this. Different kinds of air are there. By trying to control the air, you are trying to build a practice to bring your mind focus on certain things. And then pratyahara. Pratyahara means withdrawing the senses from sense objects. It also means that regulating everything in a balance. When it comes to food, you know what Krishna says? Krishna never says fast completely, nor eat too much. Krishna never says don't sleep. Krishna never says sleep 10 hours. Krishna never says don't enjoy. Krishna never says full enjoy only. Yes, yukta ahara viharasya. Ahara vihara. What yukta means in a balanced way. Yukta sapna vabodhasa. Sleep regulatedly, some few hours, enough for the body's rest. That is called yoga. These 5 steps, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, these form the aruruksha, means at the beginning stages. While you are doing work, you can practice this to get to the stage you get perfection. Once you get to the stage, if you want, then dhyana, fixing the mind on Supreme. Trying to fix the mind. We control the breathing exercises for what? Mind. Because mind, uddhared atmanam, atmanam avasadet. Atmaivi atmano bandhu, atmaivi riparatmana. He's saying that one must deliver himself with the help of mind. And do not degrade himself. Mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and is the enemy also. Make it your friend. Make it your friend. Lord is saying that. Make the mind as your friend. Because what you think matters. Never think right. And what you should think, dhyana means intensifying your thinking on that Supreme Lord. Now, look at the difference. So far in the path of knowledge and the path of karma, what have we done? We are focused on our duty and acquiring knowledge. So we get to a state of liberation where we are like Brahma Jyoti. Liberation means no misery, state of no misery. But here you're focusing on the Lord as a form. That means you're focusing on Paramatma. And he's saying that one should meditate upon me within heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Krishna is clearly advising whom one should focus on. It's not some light, something. No, they are very, very lower stages. Nothing the bad. This is the recommendation from Lord directly. What we should focus on. That complete absorption is called samadhi. In this stage, you will not be able to work also because your mind is fully given away. These are the eightfold yoga system Lord has explained. Okay. Let me move on. So he is saying, Yunjanyeva sadatmanam yogi nivigata kalmashaha sukena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukam ashnute. When you think of the Lord and do that, the self-controlled yogi constantly engaged in yoga practice becomes free from all material contamination and reaches the highest stage of perfect happiness and transcendental loving service to the Lord. And means when he does that, he gets the touch of that. He says that Brahma samsparsham means you are touching that real bliss. Samsparsham means touching. How much is that? Atyantam sukha means lot of happiness. That touch itself is very happiness. Lord is saying that. What happens then? Sarvabhutastam atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani ikhyate yoga yukta atma sarvatra samadarshinaha. And that person, when he sees that Paramatma is there in me, the same Paramatma is there in you. He tries to start seeing the Paramatma everywhere. A true yogi observes me in all living beings and also sees every living being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord everywhere. He is seeing Krishna is that Supreme Lord who is present in every one heart equal. When he sees everybody is equal, can he make a distinction between an elephant, a cow, a dog eater, a brahmana? He knows that in everyone there is a super soul. Does he not respect anyone? Sarvabhuta sthitam yo mam payati ekatvam astitah sarvata vartamanopi sayogi mai vartate. Such a yogi who engages in worshipful service of super soul, knowing that I and the super soul are one, always remain always in me in all circumstances. So that not that just focusing on you, no matter where you see, you should find that Supreme Lord. Then that a person will never lose Krishna because he is seeing Lord everywhere. Atma pamyena sarvatra samam paschati yorjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sa yogi paramo mataha. He is a perfect yogi who by comparison to his own self sees the true equality of all living beings in both their happiness and distress. So for him, happiness and distress are a material platform, but he is seeing everyone in relationship to God. See how the person has elevated himself by focusing on Paramatma. In other paths, he is focusing on himself or wishing good for others. Here, he is seeing Lord everywhere, so he naturally does good to everyone. Then, yes, now Arjuna is asking a very beautiful question. Oh Krishna, what you are saying, mind control, is very good thing, but it appears impractical, undurable. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and unsteady. And to subdue it, it is more difficult than controlling the wind. Mind control, what you say, mind is a friend or enemy, is very good. But controlling mind is so tough. Can you ever imagine sitting at one place thinking of an object? Not possible. You will be distracted. But Lord is saying, asamsayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena ta kaunteya vairagyena cha dikhyate. Saying, yes, it is very difficult to overcome. But it is possible by practice and by detachment. It is possible by practice and by detachment. Then Arjuna is asking a question. He knows, Arjuna knows, Arjuna is a person who has extreme focus. When he was a student, and everybody was given a task of hitting the eye of a bird on the tree, nobody could focus. Only Arjuna could see the eye of the bird. And that person is telling mind is difficult to control. Think what happens to us. Krishna says that nothing is impossible, you can practice it. So then Arjuna is asking question. Okay, somebody will try to make a practice. But what is the destination of a person who's practicing this process, who takes this to this process of self-realization with faith, and who later desists to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism? I've taken to this path, I've fallen down, but I tried. But because I didn't achieve perfection, will not such a man who is bewildered from path of transcendence fall away by both from both spiritual and material success, and perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere? That means that I tried to follow this path, so I couldn't get success, so I couldn't become successful in spiritual life. Now I'm successful in material life by following this path. What is the position of that person who tried but he failed? Krishna is answering very beautifully. He's saying that a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activity do not meet with destruction, either in this. Minimize this. Either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. This is the assurance Krishna gives. When you try to make progress, even if you have hindrances, you will not complete it. There is nothing to lose, Krishna is saying. He's giving the reason. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyments on the planets of pious living entities, that means that when you follow this process of focusing on the Paramatma thing, then even if you're not successful, whatever benefit a materialist want to enjoy in higher planet systems, you will get that enjoyment for many, many years. Not just that. And then you are born into a family of righteous people, or into family of aristocratic people, or the family of devotees. Why that birth? On taking such a birth, he revives his divine consciousness of his previous life. He again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. He's saying that you get birth in that family, either rich people or in the family of brahmanas or devotees. And not just that, the environment becomes conducive to you because of taking that birth. You don't have to hanker for basic things. Even naturally, you will be imbibed with that knowledge because you are what you associate with. You will get the basic things taken care for you, and you will be quickly brought because you have past work, right? You don't lose. You continue from there. Somebody has natural tendency, right? You are building the tendency and naturally you're picking up. Lord is saying that you continue that. He automatically becomes attracted to yogic principles, even without seeking them, ultimately achieving perfection. After many, many births of practice, he attains supreme. He's saying that, yes, you may not be able to succeed in this life. You may take many, many lifetimes. But you will make progress and finally succeed, Lord is assuring you. The conclusion is that Lord is saying, of all the yogis, the one with great faith who abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Lord's opinion means it's an order. He is telling that that is the ultimate thing. When you want to think of Lord, think of Lord, meditate on the Lord and not anyone else, and try to focus that. So here, let me come back to this diagram. So he is saying, initial stage, this is the way. You go here. Even if you fall down, you will come here. There is nothing lost, no sin. You are still. But this process, you may take millions of lifetimes, many, many births. Even this process may take millions of lifetimes. This process also may take millions of lifetimes to achieve success. But in this process, you get up to this stage of Brahman realization. Whereas in the path of dhyana, you will get up to the dhyana. And coming 6 chapters, you will see how, even if you are the sinner, you are in the negative side, how you will go up and up and up and up. I will go to the Lord. In all these paths, you are making the effort and Lord is showing mercy. Finally, you will go to the Lord. You have to go to the Lord. Remember this. We'll see the bhakti. Lord will come and take you. That is the most beautiful part of it. We will cover from next week that words. So I hope you got the understanding of this section, because these are very important. To appreciate bhakti, you need to understand this. Why bhakti is so good to understand this. You would understand this. Then if you understand this, then you see, wow, why bhakti is so beautiful. That is why I try to explain you. Lord is explaining all this before. And is encouraging Arjuna. All these paths are good. Nothing is wrong. But do what is best. Okay. With that, I'll pause here. I'll open for a session for any questions. Did you get a clarification? Did I go too fast? Because I had to cover a lot of portion, but I gave you all the important points. And that's why I built my foundation strong so that I can cover this fast.
Prabhu, one of the things that you mentioned was in the diagram, it was saying something about withdrawing the senses from sense object. What does that exactly mean? How does one, can you give example?
Right. Supposing you want to study for an exam. I'm giving you a practical example. You want to study for an exam. And in your house, they are watching a very good Netflix movie. And you love that serial. You are not watching that serial, putting your goal ahead. Have exam, even if you like it, you are trying to divert you away. You don't even look at that. You go separate to a different place and focus on your goal. That is called withdrawing friends from sense objects. Does it make clear?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I was on mute.
No problem. Any other question? Please feel free, because this is a very important topic. And I know this is like crash course kind of stuff, but don't worry. First, understand this at a summary level. After this, I will take courses if you want. There's no, we can decide how we want it. There's no, whatever you paid, you pay. Why we ask you to fee also, I'll tell you that. Not that we make money out of it. Most of it is given to you back in form of book or restaurant thing. And unless we pay money, we are conditioned. Because mera paisul vasool karna, I want to get the value of my money kind of mentality is there. We don't pay attention and listen. But once we listen to get it, we start getting taste of it, then we cannot stop. That's the word. But we'll definitely have sessions. We'll go more detailed, words by words. We can go how deep we can go. We can think all the things later. But focus on this part, because I want to take advantage of this summary portion. You get it. When you go detailed, then you will really relish it. Okay.
I have two questions, Prabhuji. One, you mentioned three modes in the material.
Yes.
So one is passion, ignorance. What is the first one? I missed that.
Goodness. Mode of
Sorry?
goodness. Mode of goodness.
Goodness.
Sattva.
Mode of goodness.
Mode of passion.
Sattva.
Mode of is tamas.
Sattva, Raja, Tamas. Okay.
Krishna explains this in 14th chapter, dedicated only for three modes.
Okay.
Krishna is a great
Okay,
teacher.
got it.
Right? He gives a summary. He gives a first introduction. He elaborates each topic in detail. He summarizes. He does everything. Every topic Krishna is going to elaborate in detail. We have seen, I'm trying to, you feel rushed because we are doing crash course kind of film. But if there's a full chapter, 14th chapter is dedicated only for this.
Thank
Okay.
you. The second question is, Dharma was translated in English as religious practices. Would that be a fair, accurate translation?
Yes. Religious principles. Religious means the word religion not necessarily refers to the word we see today. Okay. Religion means your dharma. Dharma by itself does not mean knowledge. The duty also. And so you have to follow that. Okay. We have to follow. We have dharma of a mother. We have dharma of a father. Okay. Like this, that you cannot change that. Okay. Otherwise, dharma is that, but different levels of dharma are there. Sometimes one dharma can be given up for a higher dharma, but never give up a higher dharma for a lower dharma. There are some grades. Krishna explains that in summarized in 18th chapter. Yeah, the question. I like questions. I really enjoy questions because this is what makes it. Our philosophy entirely is based on question and answers. Harshal, any question?
No, I don't have any currently.
Mm.
I'm just trying to absorb as much as then.
Yes. Yeah, by the end of the session, I'll share the videos also. If I
Mhm.
or you will not join the classes, that's why I'm not sharing it. We tend to be lazy. The moment we are given option, we tend to be lazy. So please join.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I will definitely, and we can have more detailed sessions also, no problem. But
Mhm.
any question, don't hesitate. I know sometimes it may be overwhelming. That's why I'm trying to simplify it. But the goal is take it simple. The goal of Bhagavad Gita is very clear. That's why I told you first day.
Mhm.
Or if I don't end up to understand Krishna as God, then what my duty to Krishna?
Mhm.
Yeah. If I end up somewhere else, that means I did not understand Gita. Left, if in the exam you give left hand side, you got to prove right hand side, right? We know what is right hand side. We are working left hand side to come to the right hand side. If we don't end up what we want right hand side, that means we are lost, we have failed. Every step we take should drive to that conclusion. But to start with, it doesn't appear like that because you don't want an answer. The answer is already there.
Mhm. Just
Rajita, Saurav, any questions?
No, Prabhu, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. If you don't have any questions, thank you all. And don't miss the next 6 chapters because they are the essence. It's like a sandwich. You have bread on this side, karma, jnana on this side, and the creamy layer is in between called bhakti. Please attend that and you will relish it. Okay. Thank you all. Thanks for your time. Hare Krishna. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. All goes to Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.